Third graders, so thank you for watching my fraction project video. So now I'm going to go behind the scenes. I'm going to show you how I made the different parts of the fraction project. So if there's different things you're wondering, like, wait, how am I going to get that on my slideshow? Then this is definitely the video to watch. Okay, the first part I don't think you have a problem with. Just write what your title is. For me, my fraction project. Boom. Okay, so on this slide, this is where you come up with your object, okay? So your object might have, and I'm going to erase mine actually. I'm going to erase my lines, but I'll show you how to get those. You can come up with whatever object you are wanting to talk about. So if you, and it could totally be candy bar, it could be a soccer ball, it could be a football, it could be a football field. Really, it could be whatever. As long as you are going to understand that it can be broken up into fractions. So you can search the web if you so maybe you have a picture in a magazine that you want to use, maybe you want to draw a picture of it. If you want to search up for a picture of whatever you're talking about, I think we've talked about how to do this, but you're going to go to insert image, search the web, and then here is where you're going to search the web for your image. Maybe it will work. There we go. Search Google Images. Okay. So let's say you're wanting to do a chocolate bar, or maybe you want to do maybe you're wanting to do the planets. Planets are a good thing too. Let's say planets. Okay. So internet's taking a while. Gotta love that. Okay. So here might be a good example. So let's say this is the one I want to use. You can click on that, insert the picture, and here it is. Okay, so maybe this is what you're wanting to use. Maybe you want to do your planets where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 planets. So then your whole would be 8. Okay, so that might be an example. If you want to instead, let's go to insert. Let me move this. There we go. So if you want to do something that maybe is already or is not already broken up for you, like maybe you have a picture of a like let's say even a candy bar or brownies or something, or a cake. You can do any of that. Okay. So, instead of candy bar, I want to do Hershey bar. Let's do Hershey bar. Okay. Oh my God, look at that first one is like so perfect right there. Okay, so let's say this is what you want to use for your picture. Insert a Hershey bar. We've talked about that. Amazing. If your picture is not already broken up into the pictures, like into fractions, kind of like how I had with my yoga mat over here, and I had to add the lines in myself. You can do that, and I'm going to show you how to do that here. So all you have to do is add in lines. So you should have a button on that bar at the top here where it says line. If you click it and then go into your picture and you just drag the line down like that. If you want to make the line thicker, see where it says right next to it line weight, you click on that. That'll make it extra thick, a little thick. I'm going to do 8 points. If you want to change the color of the line, click on the little pencil that has a color underneath it. I'm going to change it to white, so that way it's a little bit easier to see where it's broken up. So if this is what I'm wanting to do, and I think you have to do that each time. I know it's probably going to be a little bit tricky to get it exactly straight. Don't worry about getting it exactly straight. I know what you're doing. I know what you're talking about. Now, you don't want it to be like where it's totally uneven or unequal. You just want it to be like, about where it should be. Oh, that's already also there. Make these a little thicker. So that's how you would add some of the lines in if you need to add any of the lines in. And then if you want to go sideways, you can go like that, boom, like so. So if this is your example, let me do one more here and line. Okay. So this is broken up into fractions, and fractions, love fractions. Okay, so then you can see each of this. So like for this example, it would be 12. So like for this is what I would write for the whole. This is a Hershey bar. I spelled Hershey wrong. Hershey, I can get it. Hershey bar. It has 12 pieces. So 12 out of 12 equals 1 whole. That would be what you would write there. Okay, so now the next slide is where you want to write what you're talking about for that, okay? The easiest way to do that, if you've already done where you have a picture and you talk about one hole, one hole, is just copying that one slide. Um, I have a different way to do it on my computer. I don't think yours is going to be exactly the same. For me, I right click on the slide and I click duplicate slide. I don't think you have that on your Chromebook, but here's an easy way to do it. Click on the slide. You're not going to be able to see me. Well, maybe you can. Can you see me? Keyboard? No. So, and then you have to click Control C. When you click Control C, click them together, that copies the slide. Then right after that, you hit Control V and it makes a copy of the slide. It's like magic. So now you have two of that exact same slide. So now you'd go to your next one, your second one here. And now we're going to talk about the fraction that you are specifically talking about. So like, let's say for this, I ate 1/12. It's hard to see with this picture. I ate 1/12. No, I would eat more than that. I like chocolate. I ate 4/12 of the Hershey bar. That, and then you can write, if you want, you can even write what is left over. But your main fraction you're talking about is your 4/12. But I'm going to add in there. That means that 12 minus 4, 8. 8/12 of my Hershey bar is left to share with Mr. Whitford. No, to share with Mrs. Holler. There you go. All right, so now I have the fraction that I'm talking about. If you want to, I think there's a way where if you like are kind of able to shade it in, I think if you want, this is just a little fancier. If you want to try and insert an image, not line, chart, shape. If you want to insert a shape, you might be able, oh, it is really hard to do, like moving this picture around. There we go. Let's do this. Insert shape. And then for shape, if you do like a box, let's say. So like this way you can cover up exactly what you're talking about. So for me, if I ate 4/12, that covers up one. I'm going to insert another shape, box, and I need to cover up one more. Boom, that's it. So that would be what I have left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Look, 8/12 are left. All right. So now so you have the fraction you're talking about. So like I might head this one, my fraction. This one I might head my fraction. Whole, not whole like a hole, but a whole, like a whole thing. Okay. So we don't need this slide. I'm going to delete this one. And now we have the number line. Okay, this is a little bit trickier to do. There's a few different ways that you can do this. If you want to draw it on paper, if you want to draw a number line on paper and take a picture of it and upload it onto a slide, that is totally fine if you want to do that. I won't show you how to do, because I can't show you how to do that on this camera, but I'm going to take that off and show you how to do that here. So I'm going to show this. Actually, I'm just going to I'm going to insert a whole other slide. Okay. So to do the fraction line, all you have to do is the lines. This is going to be a lot of lines that I'm going to be using for 12. So if your fraction is huge, it might be a little bit trickier, but you can definitely still do it. So if I first of all, I have my line, and I'm going to extend my line like that. Again, if you want to change the thickness, you can change the thickness, you can change the color, all that good stuff. Okay. Then you put lines. You're going to put lines at the beginning. And I know it's hard to get it exactly straight. You can even see in mine was not exactly straight, just as best as you can. Okay. So you're going to put lines at the front and at the end. This one is going to end up being 0. This is going to end up being 1. In order to put the numbers in, you're going to add a text box. For me on my computer, I click T for text box, and then I can create a text box and type in whatever I want. Like for this one, I'm going to put 0. I'm going to change that font to be a little bit bigger. Let's make it 25 points. I also want to make it actually, that's just probably good. And then from there, you can move that text box where it needs to. So you want it to be like, so your 0 or whatever you have is going to be as close to where you need it to be, like so. Let's make that line a little darker too. Okay, so that's how you're going to do that part. Then you would start by adding the lines in. If it's an even number, if your fraction is an even number, the easiest thing to do is to start with 1/2. So I'm going to take a line, I'm going to put it where about I think 1/2 is, like so. I'm going to look at my line, and it looks like, yeah, that's about, I broke it into about 1/2. Now, it might not be exact, but like it shouldn't be like this. You shouldn't be like, oh yeah, I broke it into halves. Like, you guys know what 1/2 looks like. So you can move your line where you need to show 1/2. This looks about right. Okay, so now I have broken that into 2 equal pieces, but I want it to be into 12 equal pieces. So then from there, I'm going to start to break it up a little bit more. I did halves. Next even number from that is going to be fourths. So I'm going to break that half to half there and half there. Okay, so if you look at that, oh, that's not exactly even. I can make that a little bit more even. There we go. Oh, yeah, that looks much better. So then from there, you would then break. So now I have it into fourths. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, broken into fourths. Now I'm going to break it up into next even number that we can break it up into. Well, I guess technically it would be 6, but it's going to be eighths. Watch how I do it. So now I'm going to break each of these up into halves. Okay. Oh, that needs to be a little bit over there. Okay. All right. So now it's broken up into eighths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, now I'm realizing that might not actually work to make it 12s. So, well, I have it into eighths right now. So I'm actually going to delete that. And let me see. Okay, so let me think of an easier way to do this. So forget that. Okay, I know I want it. So I had it into, so this is halves. I want to break each one. So if I break 12 into half, it's going to have 6 on each side. So I'm going to need to have 6 spaces on this side, meaning I'm going to need 5 lines. 1, 2, 3. Let me see if this works. 4 and 5. Oh, my dog is not happy with that. Okay, it's not exactly even. I'm going to try and make it as even as I can. Okay. Like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spots on this side. That means I need 6 spots on my other side. 1. Actually, I'm not going to make you watch me and do that. I'm going to go ahead and pause it. And done. So I did 5 lines for 6 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now it should be broken up into 12. So let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Boom. Just like that. Okay. So it's partitioned. Now you need to add your fractions for it. The easiest way to do that is just like I showed you before. I'm not going to make you watch me do the whole thing, but is to use a text box. And I'll show you how to do there's 2 ways you can do the fraction line. So start with the text box where you want it to go. So let's say so my first one's going to be 0 12s. You could do 0/12. That is a way to write a fraction. If you don't like seeing the fraction like that, you can do it with a fraction line. So if you do your fraction, hit 0, hit enter. So that's the numerator, put the denominator right below it. Highlight the top number and click underline, and then you have that as a fraction. And just like before, if you need to move that text box around, you can move the text box wherever it needs to go. My next fraction would then be, how many 12s? 1/12. I'm going to give a text box, put it in here, 1, enter, 12. I'm going to highlight the 1, underline the 1 to show a fraction bar, and now this one is 1/12. If I need to move it a little bit over, I can to show 1/12. There we go. Okay, so this is what your fraction line is going to look like. I'm going to pause it. You don't have to watch me do the whole thing. I'm going to show you how to mark your fraction bar. Okay, so I have marked my whole fraction line. Boom, that one's totally done. And I usually like numerator, denominator, done. So then the last thing you need to do for your fraction line is to mark the fraction that you are specifically talking about. For me, I was talking about 4/12. So there's two things you can do. One, you can insert an image just like you did before. So if I want to insert an image of, let's say, chocolate. Ooh, maybe I want to do like a Hershey Kiss. Maybe I want to do that as my example. Okay. You can insert a picture. This one looks good. Insert. Boom. That picture is going to be huge. You can resize it. If you click on the picture to where you see these dots on the outside of it, that means it's ready to be resized. Again, resized. Click on the corner. Click on the corner. And when you see the arrows look like that, like it's that slanted arrow, you can click on it and then you should be able to make it smaller, like so. Then, once it's small enough, you can move it around to where you want it. My fraction is 4/12. That's where it is, 4/12. The other thing you can do, I believe you are able to insert special characters. I'll show you how to do that as well. So you're going to need a text box. I would open up the text box wherever your fraction is going to be. Go to insert. Oops, let me move that. Insert special characters. And then this is where you can choose your special character. I'm going to do an emoji. Let's say I want to do a heart. It's now inserted into the text box, and I can move that text box where it needs to go. And that's it. So that's how you make your number line. Okay, let's delete this slide. The last thing that second last thing that you're going to do is you are going to show how you came up with equivalent fractions. If you want to show this with, like, specifically with your, I think another line there, with fraction bars, if you insert image and search fraction bars, you should be able, we hope, to find some fraction bars. I don't know if that's a great example. I can probably share a picture with you guys. We want fraction bar, let's call it manipulatives. Maybe nope, that didn't show it. All right, so I can share a picture. Let's see, fraction bars. So that's one way that you can do it. Or if you want to show it, like if you want to take actual fraction bars and show how you came up with that that equivalent fraction by taking a picture of it, I can show you how to do that as well. The last thing you're going to do, this should be pretty easy for you guys to figure out, is just write what you did. Basically explain your whole thing. Make sure you use the words, make sure you use denominator. Let's see, let's go here. I want to underline. Make sure you use denominator. Make sure you use numerator. Talk about your equivalent fraction and exactly what you did. And that is behind the scenes, behind the music of how you make your fraction project. I really can't wait to see what you, what you guys come up with. My last thing I want to say is be creative. It doesn't have to be chocolate. It doesn't have to be brownies. It doesn't have to be cake. It absolutely can be. It totally can be. But maybe you want to write about, like I said, planets. Maybe you want to, maybe you have a picture of dogs and you want to show like what fraction of the dogs are corgis. Or what fraction of the dogs are, or maybe you have a picture of dogs and cats and you want to say what fraction is cats. Maybe you have a picture of a charm bracelet and you want to say what fraction is a certain color of your charm bracelet. Whatever you want to do, be creative. I can't wait to see what you guys do.